Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel and my name is Bobby. For those that don't already know, I like to post drone videos. 2020 has been a tough year for a lot of people, including myself. So one of the saviours for me was being able to get out and about into the Lake District once lockdown restrictions eased. Not only does it have benefits for your physical health, but most importantly your mental health as well. So what I've done today is I've counted down my top 5 Lake District locations that I visited in 2020. Now these are all accessible low level as well, so there's something for everyone. Now I'm not saying these are the best locations in the Lake District at all, because they're not, but these are my top 5 from 2020. So let's not waste any time, let's start the rundown. So my number 5 is Sour Milk GILL and Easdale Tarn. So I actually started this walk from the beautiful village of Grasmere. I actually wasn't supposed to go to this location on the day. I was supposed to go up one of the fells, and then I saw the waterfall from a distance, so I had to go. For you guys that know and follow me, you'll know that I absolutely love a waterfall. So it's one of the most beautiful walks. So you walk alongside the river. It's quite rocky in some places, but generally it's really accessible. The waterfall's in 2 sections. It's the first section, which is a little bit harder to see because of all the trees and all the shrubs, but you can see it and it's really nice. And then there's the second section, which is the most popular. There's quite a lot of rocks there as well that people like to sit and enjoy the views and maybe have a picnic. So I continued on up the walk, maybe about 20 minutes, half hour, and then you come to this beautiful tarn, Easdale Tarn. Now it is one of the most beautiful tarns that I have seen, like no exaggeration. It is so pretty, and it was really popular as well. There's quite a lot of people there on the day that I went, but it was also a really sunny day. There was people having barbecues, people swimming as well. You can cross over the river just by the tarn and go down at the other side of the river, and then you can cross over at the bottom of the waterfall because there's a little bridge there as well. It's really accessible for everybody. As I say, it's not a very hard walk. It is steep in some parts, but it is a really decent walk. So my number 4 is Windermere. Windermere is England's largest lake, so as you can imagine, there's lots of beautiful little places dotted all around the lake, including Ambleside. But today I'm going to focus on the journey that I made using the Windermere ferry over to the Clyde Viewing Station, which is on the western side of the lake. To make this journey, as I say, I used the Windermere ferry. It takes about 10 minutes, costs a couple of quid, and you can even take your vehicle onto the ferry. So after you get off the ferry, I made this short journey. It took about 10-15 minutes to this little small castle-like viewing station called the Clyde Viewing Station. It was renovated about 5-6 years ago by the National Trust, and once you get there, the views are absolutely spectacular, especially on a good day. I definitely recommend that you guys should visit. There's also, as I say, Bowness, which is absolutely gorgeous. You can get a ferry from there all around the lake if you've got plenty of time on your hands, but definitely Windermere is a place that you guys must visit. So the next location I'm going to talk about is Keswick and Derwent Water. So I've just decided to combine these two together because Derwent Water and Keswick are literally seconds apart essentially. Keswick is an absolutely beautiful town. There's lots of local shops there, lots of local businesses as well. A beautiful town. You've obviously got the iconic theatre by the lake as well. Derwent Water is literally 3-4 minute walk from the town centre. It's not very far at all, and there's a little cabin and they do like little boat rides as well. Also you can rent out a canoe. I often get a canoe along on Derwent as well. It's always great fun, and there's always people out canoeing no matter what the weather is. There's also so many crags and fells around Derwent to take in the views. This Castle Crag, which is just down at the bottom end. We've also got Cat Bells on the western shores. We've got Waller Crag, and probably the best view to go if you've got a family is probably Latrig as well. that doesn't take very long from the centre of KESWICK. It's definitely a place to go, and you get amazing panoramic views right across to the Solway Firth as well. This is my number 2, and it very narrowly missed out from being my number 1. This is HODGE Close Quarry. The reason I've chose this as my number 2 is because it's a great part of Cumbria history. It's a quarry that used to be mined way back in the day, and since then the quarry has filled with water. So under all the water there is a lot of underground tunnels. Sadly you can't get to them anymore because, as I say, they have all filled with water. There is people that do dive, but they are professionals, and people have died underneath the water trying to explore. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. But there is tunnels above water that you can visit and get into, and some little mines and stuff like that. One of the ones I went into, the water was just above your kneecaps, and you could see the end of the tunnel. It was perfectly safe, although it was very cold. Oh my god, it is so cold! I actually did get into the main water as well and had a little swim. It was very slippery, but definitely worth it. But the day I went was very, very warm. But at one point I put my legs down and you can definitely feel the coldness of the water, because I don't know how far down it goes, but as I say, I wouldn't like to go underground. There was quite a few people there as well. Not many places that are actually mined anymore. One of the only places is probably Honester Slate Mine as well, and that's another place if you can visit. Definitely visit them both because they are absolutely amazing. Also, just quite close to HODGE Close Quarry is also Cathedral Cavern, which is also another quarry that was mined, and it's basically a big cave, and it's like it's amazing. I haven't been to film with my drone there yet, but I'll insert some photos here. That's another place, and that's not very far. You can actually walk from HODGE Close Quarry to Cathedral Cavern, and I think that'll take about 15 minutes. I don't think it takes very long, but I've not done that myself yet. But definitely now here is my number 1. So my number 1 is ULLSWATER. The reason I've chose ULLSWATER because there's lots of different little things that I think make this place my number 1. So let's start with Pooley Bridge. Pooley Bridge is obviously just on the edge of the lake, right down at the far end, and it's really, really pretty. It's a pretty little village. The bridge is just reopened as well after the bridge was knocked down by Storm Desmond in 2015. So that's a lot better because you used to have to do a whole 15-mile diversion. So that's open, so that's going to be a lot better as well. There's some great pubs as well in Pooley Bridge for food and stuff like that. We've also got the Air Force. The Air Force is obviously a really popular tourist destination. I came here earlier this year and flew my drone as well. A beautiful place. I've been here about 2 or 3 times now, and it's so beautiful. There's also, just further on, if you carry on going down the road, there's also Glenridding, another place that is just amazing. I got a boat from St Patrick's Boat Landing here as well earlier in the year and went for a little ride along the boat. At the other side of the lake is one of my favourite locations, which is Kailpot Bay. So I first discovered this just by chance on Google because I was looking for places to go and swim, and there's actually like some cliff top jumps you can do. I'll insert that video, and it's really good. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that. There's like little sandy, like rocky bits and beaches kind of that you can sit on as well. It's really good. Also, just above that there's Hailing Fell. Now that is only about a 20-minute, half-hour walk. It's also Wainwright as well, and you can get amazing views of the entire lake. It's fantastic. One of the things I also recommend doing is getting an ULLSWATER steamer, but ULLSWATER generally is just a whole beautiful place. There's lots of little things to do, and even if you just want to go for a picnic or take a barbecue just on the edge of the lake and just have a chill afternoon, it's definitely, you can do everything at ULLSWATER, and often it's a little bit quieter than the famous places like Windermere, and it's not really that far from Windermere as well. You can go over the famous Kirkstone Pass to get to Windermere, and that'll take about 20 minutes, half hour, obviously depending on how well you're driving is up that famous pass. But yeah, they are my top 5. I hope you enjoyed, hope you agreed. If there's any locations you guys would love me to visit in 2021 and fly my drone and get a different perspective on things, let me know in the comments below. And please, if you can, please subscribe, it'd be great. There's loads more stuff coming up. Thank you.